we do part 2 of our week 6 preview. It's time for Garbage Time. Welcome into Garbage Time Fantasy Football. I am your host, Ron Seymour, and I am joined today by Ryan Warner. How you doing?
Good. Just trying to get through this Thursday night game without falling asleep. So.
Oh, yeah. The thrilling 0-0 game that it is.
3-0 now.
Oh, 3-0. I must have missed the field goal.
Quite the
Points
shootout.
have been scored finally. All right. Like I said at the beginning, we're going to do part 2 of the week 6 preview. But first, I want to let you know to make sure, you like and subscribe right here on YouTube. Go over to our Apple and our Google and our Spotify and follow over there. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple. Don't forget about our contest going on for this signed Miles Sanders card. You have to leave a 5-star review over on Apple, like and subscribe to our YouTube, and then comment on a video that you are officially part of the Heckling fandom. And you'll be in the running to win this at the end of the football season. With all that being said, you ready to hop in the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
News updates.
Oh, I had it on loop.
That's all right. It's a good beat,
Yeah. We just wanted to extra sure that they knew it was the news.
So one of the more fantasy relevant pieces of news that came out today, Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry both missed practice. Chris Olave was seen at practice. So I think it's starting to lean towards we might not be seeing Michael Thomas or Jarvis Landry this weekend for the Saints.
Yeah, and if Chris Olave does play, he should be a really solid play this week. But he did have the concussion, so who knows? It's still up in the air.
And I'm curious how with the new protocols and stuff, how that's going to work out, how long a concussion injury takes now. So definitely be interesting there. And better news, despite the quarterback situation, Deontay Johnson did log a full practice today. So he may be on the field. But that offense is struggling a little bit. Another big name player to miss practice today, T. Higgins, missed practice again today with the ankle injury. Do you think we see him?
What ankle injury? Wasn't his missing half the game last week just due to, he was a situational player?
Yeah, he's one of those gadget guys. You only want to put him in.
Yeah, you don't play him every down.
No,
he's not that type of player.
No, maybe if he was more talented, but
that just makes me, even if he plays, it makes me nervous to want to start him.
Well, that was going to be one of my other questions, and I believe I asked JJ on the show last night, is after what happened last week, if you have someone that's even in the same ballpark as far as, floor, are you looking to probably put them in instead, even though Higgins does have that upside, but he's dealing with the injury and it's just kind of a rough situation right now?
Yeah, if I had anyone in the area where it was any type of back and forth between the two, I would 100% sit Higgins if I could.
Yeah.
It scares me just because of what happened last week.
Yep, totally agree there. In other news, James Conner appears on track to miss Sunday. Probably won't play this week. Raheem Mostert stated he will play for Miami this Sunday. James Conner I already said Conner, but Darrell Williams also missed practice today. What do you think the outlook for Benjamin looks like?
I mean, he's going to get to work. I mean, there's probably worse starts this week, but it's hard to trust him.
Yeah, I agree. Another player we touched on briefly last episode, just because of the impact to another player, Rashad Bateman was missing from practice again today. Does that make Duvernay a possible flex option in lineups?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to throw the ball somewhere, and I mean, Duvernay got a lot of targets last week. He just didn't they just didn't connect.
Yep.
Maybe with one more week of practice between these two, then it could be better for him.
Yeah, I agree. And then just the last little bits, Jonathan Taylor logged a full practice. Looks like he is on track to be a go on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers, full participant in practice. Looks like he's going to be playing. Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott were both limited in practice. I think we're going to see Russell Wilson play, but Dak, I think we're going to be waiting another week.
Yeah, I think Dak sits one more week. I think you'll see Cooper Rush again this week, even though I'm sure they'd love to have Dak against the Eagles.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. And that's all I got for the news. Unless you have anything else or if I missed anything.
Nope. I think that's enough for me. Let's go ahead and 2 days in a row, we get to hit the game preview button. All right.
Ooh.
It's the longest one. That's the longest drop we have, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
I keep telling JJ, I'm like, we got to make that like 9 seconds shorter. That's it. All right, let's get into this. First game we were going to talk about. If you're looking for Commanders at Bears, Ravens, Giants, Jaguars, Colts, Patriots, Browns, Bengals, Saints, Bucks, Steelers, 49ers, Falcons. Those were all on yesterday's show. Go over ahead and listen to that after you're done with this show. First game we are going to talk about is the Jets at Packers.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Probably the most obvious player on the Jets, Breece Hall. He's a must start at this point. What do you say?
Yeah, he's definitely a must start. He broke into the top 10 on the season right now. I mean, you have a day where you get 100 yards rushing and basically 100 yards receiving. You're going to do that.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I wouldn't expect that again this week, but this offense has shown that they can make it down the field. We'll see what the Packers defense looks like after it got decimated by the Giants last week.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like it seems like every other play.
Yeah. Just decimation.
It was at the Giant Stadium, right?
Yeah. No, it was in London.
Oh, it was in London. Yeah.
It was very far away from the Giant Stadium.
London was just like, yeah, keep singing the national anthem here. We're just going to wipe out all the players. What are you thinking about Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson? I'm not loving any of them until we start to see some level of rapport, figure out who Zach Wilson really likes and what's going on there.
Yeah, it's difficult. Last week, none of them did anything.
No,
really, it was 100% Breece Hall, which I think that changes. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it, but
not
yeah. So, but you can't start him until you know.
Right. And you don't know who his favorite's going to be. In the past, it has been Corey Davis, but you don't know what's going to happen. The only other player I think that on the Jets that I would consider plugging in is Conklin put up a goose egg last week, but I think he's a streamable option at the tight end position.
He could be all right, but that goose egg is going to fade a lot of people from him.
It's scary. It's scary. All right, over on the Packers side, who you got?
Alan Lazard and Romeo Doubs. I mean, you got to start those. And right now, I would not start AJ Dillon.
That was going to be one of my questions.
But so it's pretty much those two wide receivers, Aaron Jones and maybe Rodgers. Maybe.
Yeah, and then as far as the tight end position, it's kind of a split right now with Tunein and Lewis. So I think I'm staying away from that as well.
Yeah. I think Tunein has the higher chance of getting the touchdown, but
Yep, but you're just banking on it. You gotta hit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as Jones and Dillon, it was interesting. I think Jones had 7 more carries last week. It'll definitely be something worth watch if that trend continues.
Yeah, I mean, there's a path for AJ Dillon. I mean, if the Jets just go out there and lay an egg.
Yeah.
And the Packers can build a huge lead. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to come back pissed. He just lost to the New York Giants over in London. Like, he's not going to be happy with that. So he's going to come back trying to prove a point.
I think the biggest thing is going to be what that defense looks like after, like you mentioned, getting destroyed.
Yeah. Just decimated left and right.
Non-contact injuries and that was brutal. But I think, do you have anyone else for these?
I really don't. I mean, it's pretty much Breece Hall and then the few players on the Packers that I would be comfortable starting.
Yeah, and yep, agreed.
I wouldn't be shocked if Aaron Rodgers finishes outside the top 12, he might even finish outside the top 15 for QBs this week.
Yeah, it's been a weird season. I think he's missing Adams right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, he sure is. All right, we will move on to the next game. Vikings at Dolphins. I was going to say, it looks like it's the 7th round or undrafted rookie QB again.
Well, and that's one of my biggest questions, and it's probably one of the hardest things. What do you think this does to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle's value? I mean, I think Hill's so talented, you have to start him. But do you consider benching Waddle this week?
Unless you have another top tier talent, you can't. Because it could very easily just be Jalen. It could very easily be Jalen Waddle outside of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, because
it's going to be one or the other, and you don't know which one.
Nope. You just gotta hope the one that it is puts up like 30 points to balance it out. Raheem Mostert probably viable again this week, right?
Yeah, if he's playing, you start him. He's getting like all of the work.
And then staying away from the tight end position, you got the Smith. What is it? Smythe?
Smith?
Yeah, Smith and Gesicki. It's a weird kind of split that's shaking out there too. So
their names are too weird. You can't start them.
Nope. Over on the Vikings side, get out the obvious. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, you're starting them.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins probably viable, especially in super flex leagues.
Super flex.
Where are you at with Adam Thielen?
I don't know. He's one of those players that I think he'll have his good weeks, but I don't know if you can predict him.
Yep. I put risky flex option.
Do we know if Xavier Howard is playing in this game?
Ooh, let me check.
Because if Xavier Howard is on Justin Jefferson, Thielen could end up with a decent game.
Okay. Was he out on injury?
I thought I heard something about him. I don't remember how serious it was or anything like that.
He was limited in Wednesday's practice. It looks like he returned to practice today.
Okay, so he's playing. So Thielen might be an okay flex option. Xavier Howard is a good corner. I'm not saying he's going to shut down Justin Jefferson, but he might do enough to where Cousins has to look at Thielen a little bit more.
Yeah, I like it. And then sneaky tight end, Irv Smith Jr. I think it's viable. It's possible.
Yeah, he's getting less and less sneaky.
Yeah, people are catching on.
Yeah.
That's all I have for this matchup. I think again it's going to be a weird one with Tua still out, and now they're all the way down to their third string. Also,
Yeah.
though, really quick, we didn't pick our winners for Jets Packers. I'm gonna take Packers,
I'm also taking Packers.
and I'm gonna take Vikings here. I just think
Yep.
third string quarterback. It's just not that.
Yeah, no. The Vikings should pull this off. If they don't, then that team has got something wrong.
100% agree.
Joe picked the Jets for the Jets at Packers, surprisingly. Or not
course.
surprisingly, I mean. And then the Vikings for this game.
Do you think
So
he
that'll-
truly believes it, though?
I think he definitely, only because the Giants won, I think he believes there's a shot.
That's fair. That's like trying to do that football math, though, is a risky game.
Yeah. All right, that brings us into what? Panthers at Rams
Yes.
with third string QB PJ Walker taking the helm.
Yeah. That makes me think basically, as far as the Panthers go, Christian McCaffrey, and that's probably it.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get behind starting anybody else.
And then for the Rams, it's almost the same story. I mean, at this point, is anyone on the Rams other than Cooper Kupp?
Tyler Higbee.
Oh, yep. I put him down. And then
because Tyler Higbee's the guy where Cooper Kupp starts getting scared and he's just like, ah.
And then is this other random player that popped up this season, Skowronek?
Skowronek?
Is he entering the area where he's probably worth an ad and a stash on the bench? Might start to enter into the flex conversation.
I don't know. That seems like a real risky play. Matt Stafford only has eyes for Kupp.
I mean, I think he's looked at this other guy more than Allen Robinson.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Allen Robinson's a ghost out there.
Yes.
He's just out there going, ooh, trying to scare people.
It's kind of sad. I mean, I would have to. This has got to be probably one of the worst starts for a returning Super Bowl team. You'd almost think.
Right. What are they? Are they 2-3 or 3-2?
I think they're 2-3. They're like a shell of their former selves.
Well, they lost Von Miller on that defense, and apparently that took a huge toll.
They're 2-3.
That is just bad.
Yeah, and ranked 26th in total yards, 32nd in rushing yards, 29th in total points. Like, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
So, well, that's a quick one. And I will pick. You gotta go Rams, right? Probably.
Oh yeah.
It's basically
Rams on this one.
It's basically Christian McCaffrey versus Cooper Kupp.
Right. Yeah. You're not wrong.
So I think the next one I got, we can move right on to Cardinals Seahawks.
Yes. Which I think is going to be a very good matchup.
So Kyler Murray, obviously you're starting him. Hollywood Brown, you're gonna start him.
Yep.
Benjamin, we touched on it briefly. What do you think? Risky, or would you probably give it a shot?
It's risky, but you could give it a shot. He should get the volume, and the Seahawks have a pretty bad defense. I mean, this game could remind me a lot of the Lions Seahawks game, where it was just points everywhere.
Right.
I mean,
Zach Ertz, you're starting him.
Yep.
Any interest in Rondale Moore or AJ Green?
No. I think one of them might be able to do something, but I'm not going to try to guess.
You flip a coin and hope you're right.
Yep.
On the Seahawks side, I mean, we have Geno Smith here. I think he in our lead is like QB5. Is he entering pretty much must start, like QB1? Lock him in?
No, I don't think he's must start. In 2 QB, he definitely is.
That's fair.
And with this matchup, I mean, the Cardinals haven't been able to stop the pass at all.
Right.
So he should definitely be able to put up at least like serviceable numbers.
Yeah, won't lose you the game, might not win you the week by himself, but he won't lose it for you either, I don't think.
Exactly.
Ken Walker's first bid start this week. Are you plugging him in right away? You waiting to see
Yep.
what week one looks like?
No, you plug him in right away. He should be the bell cow. I know I've mentioned like they might try to run DJ Dallas some too, but I don't think it'll be a lot. I think it's going to be the Ken Walker show, and they're going to see what they got out of him or with him.
What's your expectation? You think an RB2?
Yes, I think he'll finish an RB2.
Okay.
Probably something like 80, 90 yards and a touchdown, maybe a handful of catches.
Hey, that's not bad. DK Metcalf, you're going to start.
Yep. Tyler Lockett's a start.
What about Goodwin?
In my eyes, too. No, not Goodwin.
I agree. Will Dissly, interested?
In a deep league, if you need someone, there's worse starts than Will Dissly.
Yep. I agree. I am going this might be the matchup I found the hardest.
There was a few of them in this slate of games that I was like, I don't know.
Is it bad that I'm leaning Seahawks? They're the home team, better defense.
I 100% picked the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't know what I put on my pick'ems, but I'm whatever.
You have Cardinals right now, but
changing my answer now that we talk about it. I just talking it through. I think I'm gonna go Seahawks here.
And like we're talking about the ones that are hard. These last three, this one and then the next two we're going to talk about. Every single one of them, I was like, I don't know who I would pick here.
Yeah, so let's jump right into it. As far as fantasy goes, I think this will be a pretty easy one. Bills versus Chiefs. You're starting
everybody,
whoever you would normally start.
Yep. Except the Chiefs wide receivers, because
right. But you're starting Kelce, you're starting Mahomes. CEH, you doing it?
Look, I'm getting to the point where with this running back core for the Chiefs, I'm treating it like the wide receiver core for the Chiefs.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't want it. So we said like start everyone. That's a lie. You start everyone for the Bills.
And two people for
the Chiefs. 2 people for the Chiefs. Mahomes, Kelce. That's it.
Very valid. Yep.
I hate it because you want someone off this team.
Yeah.
They're going to be one of the top scorers in the league. But no one in this wide receiver core really does anything.
I mean,
the running backs, like every other week, it seems like someone else is getting like one carry.
And I mean, Kelce, 4 touchdowns.
Right.
Everybody else dropped,
I just don't see. I don't know who I could possibly say is like, they're going to get the touchdown. They're going to get the yards this week. There's no one there. There's no one there that you could positively say that about other than Kelce.
I'm totally with you.
But with the Bills, Allen, Singletary, Diggs, Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, I'd be happy starting all of them.
Any interest in Dawson Knox at all?
No. He's been injured, banged up, and he hasn't been doing anything.
I agree. And I think, let me see what I put on the, yep. So I'm ready to go the Bills here. I think they're the more complete team, like we just pointed out. Better defense. So, I mean,
and they might be getting Tre'Davious White back. So,
yeah. So, I'm not saying I'd bet my house against the Chiefs because you never know with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but I'm going to pick the Bills.
This is one of those games where I went back and forth. I'm like, I'm going to trust the consistency with what the Bills have been doing.
Yeah. Yep. Totally with you. So next up, Cowboys versus Eagles. It's sounding more and more like we're going to have another week of Cooper Rush.
Mm-hmm. I just changed my answer.
So even with Cooper Rush, CeeDee Lamb's a start.
Yep.
Gallup, wide receiver 3 range.
I would say wide receiver 4.
Wide receiver 4, okay. Brown, keep him on the bench.
Yep.
Zeke, I mean, I'm going to say RB3 based strictly on volume and hope he gets in the end zone.
He's going to get you. Look, I have Zeke on a team. I benched him.
Depending on who else you have, yeah. I mean,
I think I benched him for Kenneth Walker.
That seems
and David Montgomery.
David Montgomery's not doing great since I last
Nope.
looked. But
Nope. I saw someone running for like a 65-yard thing. I'm like, oh, is that Montgomery? Nope, that was Herbert.
yep, of course it was. And I think he's gotten like every carry since.
And then I wouldn't dare give Montgomery the ball on the goal line. Let's try doing all this other stupid shit. Anyways,
let's give it to the quarterback that just threw a red zone interception last drive. But I digress. Pollard, RB3 upside with in PPR leads.
I don't know. This Eagles defense is real good.
That's also true.
Especially this defensive line. I would full fade both Cowboys running backs if I could. And I did.
And then Dalton Schultz has been banged up, so made sure to monitor that.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that.
And like Cooper Rush, this is going to be a different time. This might be the toughest defense Cooper Rush has faced.
Yeah, he might get his first professional loss.
Yeah, so on the Eagles side, it's kind of going to be like some of the other teams. Jalen Hurts, no burner. You're going to start him. Sanders, I still hate him, but you should probably start him. AJ Brown, you're going to start him. Devontae Smith, says a safe wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 upside there. Goddard, you're starting him if you have him.
Yeah.
And I think that covers it.
I think if you're lucky, Cooper Rush can put something together to keep this game at least sort of interesting. I had the Cowboys picked initially, but that's when I thought that Dak might come back this week.
Oh yeah.
But now that it's not Dak, I don't give him a shot. So
a healthy Dak, I think I would have picked the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's how, because their defense is very good too.
Insane. So our last game, Broncos Chargers. On the Broncos side, Russell Wilson, what is going on over in Denver?
I don't know.
What is he doing over there?
I just don't know. Nothing good, apparently.
You playing him in 2 QB leads?
I'd rather not.
I'm right there with you. I mean, the Chargers defense isn't great, but I don't love it. Melvin Gordon gonna be splitting carries with Boone and Murray this week. What do you put him in the flats, RB3 range?
Melvin Gordon's still a solid RB2, I think.
Okay.
But I'm interested to see the splits with these other guys also.
Yeah. And then Sutton and Judy. Who do you like? Do you like them both?
No, just Sutton. No Judy.
Exactly what I had. I said I would play Sutton. Judy's probably sitting on my bench.
KJ Hamler could be a good DFS play.
Yeah, sneaky.
Possible long bomb. But the Chargers are like 32nd against the run. So look for the Broncos to try to control the clock here and run the ball a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, last week, KJ Hamler was in the end zone, no one around him, sat down, had a little picnic, and Wilson still would
right, yeah.
himself.
I mean, he could end up with a big play. I mean, it may be like 2 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, but
and you always wonder, because Wilson's seen that film now, does he overcompensate for that and start to look for him? On the Chargers, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, obviously you're playing him. Keenan Allen, it's not looking promising for him.
I don't think he'll be back.
So, and it's a Monday night game, so I think you need to plan for him not to be playing unless you happen to have another viable player to put in there playing Monday night. It's a risky move to have that spot taken up by a Monday night player that you're not sure is going to play.
Yeah. All right, we got a question here. Should I trade Mostert and Mike Williams for Amon-Ra St. Brown full PPR? I don't know. Mostert's getting like all of the Dolphins carries in work.
Yeah.
And Mike Williams has the better offense.
I'd be curious to see who else he has here. Who else he has for running backs? Is he just super there?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on your depth at running back, but as it stands right there, just in a box, if I'm just looking at that, I don't know if I would do it.
Yeah,
Amon-Ra St. Brown has been injured. came out last week, didn't look great, probably still dealing with the injury, is on a bye week now. Mostert is running back 4.
I'm
Let's
leaning no, but
Mixon, Kamara, and Hall. So let's look at this as Mike Williams for Amon-Ra St. Brown, essentially. What would you say to that? Who do you think has the most upside out of those two?
I think I'm going to say St. Brown as far as the season goes, because once Keenan Allen comes back.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. Maybe, I mean, he should, in full PPR, he might get more.
Yeah. And if those are your other running backs.
So with Mostert being your RB4 and you have a pretty good set of 3 running backs there with Mixon, Kamara, and Hall. Yeah, I probably would. I think I would do that trade.
Yep. Speaking of Mike Williams, he did miss practice on Wednesday. I didn't look up to see if he was in practice today, with an illness. So you don't know whether that just.
I'm sure he'll be all right. Yeah.
Probably
he didn't want to practice. He played hooky.
Yeah, exactly. Everett had a pretty subpar performance last week. You just chalking that up as a fluke and still playing him?
You chalk it up to him being a tight end. So yes.
Yeah. That's unless you have one of those top 2 or 3 guys, you can't really have a ton of consistency. You're going to get those weird weeds.
Yeah. Yeah. So we aren't going to worry about that. Oh man, was that every game?
Yeah.
It's so weird when you only do half of them.
Can I point out, how does Carson Wentz have 57 passing yards, halfway through the third?
Is that all he's at?
Yeah.
What is this, Madden? Oh, run, David Montgomery, you bastard.
Yeah, David Montgomery either has to get an 80-yard touchdown or he's never going to get one.
They're so mean to him.
They are. It's not right. But anyway, nonetheless. Dude, we cranked that out in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're awesome. We're way better than everyone else.
Yeah.
We're so used to trying to cram them all in under 45 minutes that we didn't adjust for time.
Well, hey, we could touch base on a few things. How do you feel about Brian Robinson's first start?
Yeah, he's at 30 yards right now.
30 yards. He's gotten 9 carries compared to McKissick 2, McLaurin 2, and Gibson 1. So
he's definitely the starter. They definitely said he was going to be the starter, and he did that.
Yeah.
So how many carries? 9 for 30. That's what he's at.
Yeah, averaging 3.3 per carry.
It's not horrible, but
especially for your first start,
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts.
I like to see Mooney getting involved a little bit more.
Yes, 6 receptions, 65 yards.
Yeah, and this is starting to be a little bit more consistent now. So that might be someone to look. He might have been dropped at this point. If he starts getting more involved, even if it's, especially in PPR, if he's starting to get more targets, then he might be a good pickup that someone have dropped.
Yep, fully agree with that.
Oh, it's a touchdown. What was that?
We finally get a touchdown.
Ooh, Fields is down. Ooh, Fields is
bad.
He's not getting up yet. Oh, he's doing push-ups now.
It's usually a good sign, right?
He was rolling around a little bit.
Who got the touchdown?
Dante Pettis.
Just a random.
Yeah, just a rando.
I love it.
All right.
Okay. I think
so. We'll stop narrating the game now.
Yes. Last question. I was a Kyle Pitts hater all summer. If you're in redraft, you probably can't unload him for anything, actually, now that I think about it.
You can unload him off a name.
So would you advise it? Would you try to unload him in redraft leagues? Too soon?
I don't know. It's so hard because what he can do.
Yeah.
And like,
It's just this individual named Marcus Mariota.
are you just worried about like trading him away? And then they're like, oh, we should use him more.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's like top 3 tight end for fantasy.
Well,
Like,
I don't want to say the same thing happened last year, but it was kind of like almost similar last year where you saw him kind of come on at the end of the season, and everyone was hoping that would kind of carry into this year. Yeah, it's tough, man. Dynasty, you definitely got to hang in there.
oh yeah.
He's a one in a generation talent there, but
Yeah.
redraft, I think an argument could be made.
There's definitely an argument to be made. If you can get something really good for him off a name value, or if you're trying to make a trade go through and like you're trying to trade up at a position, you might be able to throw him in. You definitely be able to throw him in. If you were trying to move like, here's a good one. You're trying to get someone in the Saquon, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler type range, Delvin Cook.
Yeah.
And you have someone like Kenneth Walker, Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
It's possible. I wouldn't say everyone would do it, but you might be able to throw Kyle Pitts in there if they're tight end hungry and get one of those more upper running backs, or like maybe even a Jamar Chase, who's been kind of not bad, but like he hasn't put up any like real superstar numbers this year.
Yeah.
If you can package a lower wide receiver and Kyle Pitts to go get Jamar Chase, I mean, you'd almost have to.
And I mean, honestly, in redraft, right now, Kyle Pitts is ranked as number 24. If you have him in redraft, you're probably you probably have another tight end on your team by now.
Yeah.
No,
especially because he missed last week.
Yeah. I love that like Sleeper and ESPN keep having so much faith in him, even though he only put up double digits once.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep like putting his projected points so high. It's like, stop it.
13. It's like that happened one time. Wow.
Yeah, happened one time this year. 4 games.
Oh, well, I don't want to say I told you so, but
oh geez, here we go.
1 out of my 100 predictions was right, and I'm just going to focus on that.
All right. Make sure you like and subscribe right here on YouTube. We're going to get out of here. Go over to Apple Podcasts, leave a review. Remember, if you want to win this signed Miles Sanders card, you have to leave a review, 5-star over on Apple Podcasts. Like and subscribe to our videos and comment that you are part of the Heckling fandom. Make sure you check our website out, www.garbagetimeff.com. You can watch us here on YouTube, on Twitter. We are also, you can watch us on Twitch at GarbageTimeFF. We are on Twitter at @garbage_timeff. Instagram, Garbage Time Fantasy Football. Ryan's Twitter is at rwarner0710. I'm at HSSI Fantasy. Anything else, Ryan?
No, crushed it.
Crushed it. See you next week.